Shalom, and welcome to the third part of the entrepreneurial finance module. In the first part, we've spoken about the importance of having a strategic roadmap of financing and why finance is important to push forward your venture. In the second part, we covered the first elements that are required to consider while you're having a seed investment or seed financing for your venture. And now we'll be speaking about more advanced financial instruments. And the first are accelerators. It's very common for startups to join accelerators, which are cohort-based programs that include mentorship and educational components that brings you to a public pitch or a demo day. They do so by providing limited capital, mostly focused on empowerment, giving tools and network, while they own a small percentage of the company, hoping that along the way the company will upgrade the value so that they can earn money. So that's accelerators. Second are angel investors. That's a very, very common way to finance startups or ventures. An angel investor is an individual who provides capital for a business startup, usually in exchange for convertible debt or ownership equity. It means that mostly angel investors will become partners in your venture, where they'll give you support at the initial moment where most investors are not prepared to back yourselves. The angel investors are looking for a multiplier on the investment. They want to make money by sharing not only capital, by empowering yourselves. It's a very, very common way to seed finance a startup, where angel investors are usually experienced business people that have experience in just what you're about to do now. Third, and that's for later rounds of financing, we'll be speaking about venture capitalists, VCs. Venture capitalists are a bridge, an intermediary between financial investors that are called LP, limited partners, to startups. And while serving as that bridge, they are doing deal sourcing, deal making, and empowering startups until hopefully they make an exit so that the money can go back to their investors. It's a very, very popular way of financing startups. We have also corporate VCs and other entities. So venture capitalists are ones that you should look for in later stages. We've spoken until now about business propositions to investors. I want to think together about a different financing instrument, about philanthropy or charity. If you indeed work in to tackle a global challenge or a non-profit domain, you should consider a charitable donation, which is a gift of cash, goods, or services made mostly to a non-profit organization to help it accomplish its goals. It's non-repayable, it can be too good to be true, but it has a process of application, compliance, etc. that you should think of before you start. So there are pros and cons, and I deeply urge you to think about this financial mechanism and to think about how you can apply to the relevant charity to your domain. Last and not least, that's something that's very close to my heart. It's about impact investing. Most of us think whether we should do good or make money. And we think that there are separate issues. Impact investing, starting 20 years ago, made the notion that we don't need to compromise, that investment can do good, that if we invest into companies, organizations, and funds with the intention to generate a measurable, beneficial, social and environmental impact alongside a financial return, it can indeed happen. So, impact investment provide capital to address social or environmental issues. And I deeply urge you to think about how you can make an impact, how you can finance it properly, and how you can approach impact investing instruments to make it happen. So, we've discussed various types of financial instruments, and we now have the financing landscape from bootstrapping and family to family and friends, to crowdfunding and VCs and impact investments. We have lots of alternatives. All of them has different pros and cons. We'll be using several of them, not only one of them, with a fit to the life cycle and needs. And now it's the time for us, when we understand the various alternatives, to build a strategic roadmap of these mechanisms. To finalize this model, so you have until now built a product, a team, and a market fit, and I'm certain that they are perfect. But valley of death is one of the biggest issues you'll encounter. And you're looking for smart, efficient, timely financing to succeed. It's about capital, but it's about much more than money. It's about finding synergy and value. It's about pushing forward your strategy. It's about dreaming, daring, doing together with your investors. Best of luck with your entrepreneurial journey, and thanks for having me until now.